Today, we're gonna do some digging, both figuratively and literally, because when we actually got the somethingisgrowing.com, the kind of web page that was really growing into hints of the new pack, obviously, since this came out, we have actually received the Enchanted by Nature trailer, which in some parts actually only furthered my belief that we can already do a lot of the stuff that is coming in this new pack with other packs in The Sims 4. So I want to check out that Something is Growing, and I have decided to play with Cottage Living, Realm of Magic, and Outdoor Retreat. Those were the main three where I was like, it feels really, really similar. A lot of the themes and like the gameplay that we've currently seen from the new pack. And then I also did actually add in Werewolf. So I know that's a fair few packs. That's like 5 packs. If you throw in Island Living in there as well, considering you can actually shower in the waterfall in Island Living, that's 6 packs that this one pack could potentially cover. However, I have a feeling if you are excited for Enchanted by Nature, then you might actually be an occult player. So the likelihood is you already have Realm of Magic, and then you could also potentially both have Island Living for the mermaids, Outdoor Retreat just because the Herbalism goes quite well with spellcasters and being like a natural witch, and then also Cottage Living just because it kind of fits like hand in hand with like the mushrooms, and I do feel like the world of Innisgreen feels a bit like Cottage Living. Now, I have seen the comments, I know it's an Irish world, not to sound someone using my heritage, but both of my grandparents are Irish. I do have Irish in me, but I know I am English. So I'm sorry to every Irish person watching who's like, you're trying to stake your claim on our land once again. That is absolutely not the case. It just, with the world in The Sims 4, you know, it's not feeling all that different on the theming. Forgive me. Irish viewers, I absolutely bloody love the pants off you babes. You wake up under the stars, see other Sims meeting their needs outdoors without beds or plumbing. Now, in some packs, we do actually already have the bushes that you can pee in and you can also sleep in. Obviously, in some packs, we do also have sleeping bags in both Growing Together and Horse Ranch, which means that you can like sleep on the floor as long as you have a sleeping bag. And we've also had park benches forever. You know, ever since the base game, you can sleep outside. People have been doing it for rags to riches for a very long time. You're hungry, but you spot some delicious looking mushrooms by a tree. Mushrooms already exist. They have existed again since base game. We've always been able to harvest them from around the world, and also in Cottage Living there are other forms of mushrooms. Now we actually do have disruptive customers in businesses and hobbies. I don't know if they're maybe going to be like similar. It feels like maybe they've kind of lent that from businesses and hobbies and made it kind of just a trait that you actually can have now. You've been feeling a little funny, an ailment with strange effects. Now I haven't included Get to Work in this video. Obviously you can get sick and Get to Work, but actually none of like the herbal remedies that you can create in Outdoor Retreat actually have an effect on like Get to Work sicknesses. Big thanks to AdPage Boo who uploaded the good herbal witch. Amber is actually a spellcaster. She is just an apprentice, so hasn't really worked on her magic too much, but I am gonna have her actually practice the practical magic, and then also maybe a little bit of mischief as well, considering fairies I assume are also gonna have a fair little bit of mischief to them. And then I also decided to add in Lou, the werewolf, because there is actually what they're trying to sell in this new pack is foraging. We've always had foraging in the game. I mean, we are living in Henford on Bagley. They probably haven't actually spawned just yet, but in like my Let's Play and everything, we lived off mushrooms for a pretty long time. Oh my god, they're out of season. Of course they are. Why would they not be? Why did I choose to add seasons into this? Why did I think that that was going to be a good idea? I do wonder if maybe any of the mushrooms are actually going to be in season throughout spring. I would like to think that maybe the pink ones could potentially be in season. The chocoberries are in season, but yeah, you can basically harvest from any plants around the world. Like I said, they've spoken about mushrooms. We already had like base game mushrooms, which is just a seed that you can get from opening seed packets and then plant it. Or if you have cottage living, then you also have like the nightly mushrooms, the like flirty mushrooms, spicy mushrooms, and you can also like eat those to keep yourself sustained. So whilst this kind of ties in a couple of things that I think Rags to Riches players or like legacy players or just people who like to live off the land are going to enjoy, we can already do that within The Sims 4. Obviously, if we didn't have a house, we could literally just come nap on this. Now, I don't know if maybe this is just going to allow you to sleep. I think it is. From what we've seen, we saw a sim like proper snoozing on the grass. I do actually think you're maybe potentially going to be able to have uninterrupted sleep. It's not just going to be like a nap situation. It's going to basically be like having a sleeping bag and just being able to send your sim to sleep instead of sending them to nap like 6 times over. But enough about that. The foraging is what I wanted to talk about, because the foraging animation, they have just kind of reused an animation that we've already seen. If you have island living, then you can actually like scavenge on the beach. You can look for trash and you can look for seashells. Now, rubbish sometimes does give you food. Usually it is food that has gone off, kind of like if you dive in the dumpster in Eco Lifestyle. Again, even more packs that kind of have the same sort of like idea that I feel like they're trying to get with. But Lou is a werewolf. He is actually a pup, and he already has the scavenge like ability that unlocks with pup. So scavenger, dig up lost treasures and artifacts. There is a wealth of lost artifacts right beneath Lou's feet. With the ability to scavenge ground, he'll be able to pull treasures right out of the earth with their bare hands. Who cares what the neighbors think? So we're actually gonna have Lou scavenge. This is the same animation as beachcombing. This is the same animation that we have seen in that trailer that we just got for Enchanted by Nature. Now, I can't remember if we can actually get forageables from this. Oh, werewolves can also nap on the ground as well. So again, for occult players, like, does it really feel that different if you do already have werewolves? They can also pee on the ground, like wherever they like. They don't have to have a bush based on another one of their abilities that they can unlock. They can lick away the dirt, they can do territory marking, leave a mark in the world and relieve your bladder. We're also going to go for personal grooming. It seems very, very similar, in my opinion, to the stuff that they are trying to sell as like a main selling point for this new pack, which is like fine. Like, I don't mind them reusing content or like doing it with like a different approach. Obviously, this, you have to be a werewolf for it, whereas in that trailer, this sim was doing all of that before they were actually a fairy. So I don't think it was like a part of a fairy ability at all. I think any human sim will be able to do it, which, like, I guess it opens it up for humans, but also I do think that should be used to sell it as like a main selling point of this pack, when technically we can already do it in another pack. The only difference is you kind of have to be an occult to do it, whereas now they're just like opening it up to everyone. That might just be me though. That might be like harsh criticism. Let me know down in the comments. And again, it is good for those people who maybe don't own all of these packs. Everything I say is obviously taken with a pinch of salt, because I know I am in a very privileged position to own every Sims 4 pack. Like, packs are expensive. You can also like pick and choose as to what you enjoy or don't enjoy. But the thing is, I feel like this is so similar to werewolves, and I think if if you are picking up Enchanted by Nature, you probably are already going to have a lot of the occult packs because you already enjoy it. Plus, Enchanted by Nature is an expansion pack, whereas Werewolves was a game pack. So we always kind of have to keep that in mind. We have not had a game pack in The Sims 4 since Werewolves. He is starting to feel a little bit like he needs the toilet, so we are actually going to come and mark our territory. Now, he actually hasn't found any food, so I don't think scavenging here maybe even allows you to find some food. Like I said, if we had island living as well and we beachcomb for rubbish, we probably would be able to find some food, but it would most likely be out of date, which, to be fair, in the trailer we saw a sim just like eating a frog raw, like absolutely raw frogged a frog, which you can actually cook frog stew. I was talking about it so much, I was like, to heck with it, why don't I actually just like install island living as well? We have seen in the trailer that you can click on an open body of water and select bathe here. We're gonna have Lou go swim around. His hygiene is pretty damn terrible from all the scavenging that he has done, but his hygiene does go up from swimming. So even though it doesn't get it up like as quickly as I imagine like a bathe here would, just having him swim around, our hygiene is very slowly going up, which I kind of feel is maybe a little bit more realistic. Obviously, oh my word. No, okay, we're done with that. Do not freeze, please get out. It makes sense if you do take a bar of soap with you or like a shower gel or something like that, then obviously your hygiene is going to go up at a quicker rate. If we do actually travel over to Sulani, this is the waterfall over here in the Muapella neighborhood. We are going to actually have Lou go and shower in there. I'm assuming this is how it's going to work with like the bathe option in the new pack, where you click on open water and select bathe here. But let's go shower. You can also choose to shower nude. We also, again, like I said, do have the werewolf ability to actually lick ourselves clean, and as you can tell, it's actually going up at a much quicker rate, acting as if your sim is properly showering. I do quickly want to have him beachcomb for rubbish, considering we did actually do a lot of scavenging and we didn't get any food from it. This one actually works a little bit better in my opinion, because they will do it like multiple times over, whereas if you just have a werewolf scavenge, they'll only do the interaction once. There we go, we got a sturgeon. It's obviously foul quality. Because he is a werewolf, he can actually just like raw dog this fish. Oh, and it's skinned and everything. He said, fillet of fish for me, please, and thank you. I kind of want to bring Amber here and try and find another fish to see if she could eat that herself. She can't actually eat it. If we did have a campfire, we would be able to roast that fish and we would be able to obviously like live off that and sustain ourselves. But a campfire either has to be like placed around the world, or you actually have to have one on your lot, which I guess this does open up like off-lot living a little bit more, because you're not restricted to like actually having to have a lot with like the basics for looking after your sim outdoors. Like you don't need a cooler, for example, to keep cooked meals, or like a campfire. You can full on just go and like scavenge the world and then eat stuff raw. Now I just wanted to work on her magic a little bit off screen. Obviously I can only assume that fairies are gonna have some form of magical power, so I kind of wanted just to show you the realm of magic and a couple of like the werewolf abilities, so that we could have those in our minds for when Enchanted by Nature comes out. Repario, fix a broken object. These are all part of the practical magic route. Scrubberoo, make something or someone squeaky clean. So that's another way to get, I guess, clean. But again, you do have to be an occult for that, rather than like just showering, I guess. Delicioso, create a tasty meal out of thin air. Florioral, I always mess that one up, but keep your plants healthy and bug free. Now, they have mentioned fairies being good with plants, which makes sense because it's enchanted by nature. And we do have a plant lover trait, so I imagine fairies are also going to have something that relates to plants. Transportalate, which is move instantly to another location regardless of distance. You can also have that if you have a magical broom. You can kind of use that to like teleport wherever you want. You can just like fly here. We have Disperio. Fill a Sim's mind with feelings of intense sadness. Deliriate, reach into a Sim's head and scramble their thoughts. Furio, convince two Sims to argue and fight with each other. Infatuate, convince two Sims to get romantic with each other. And Burglate, acquire something that doesn't belong to you. But let's go to the outdoor retreat world, which of course is the one and only Granite Falls. Oh, yeah, I need to book travel. I can't just travel. Oh, thanks, Lou. Thanks for just, pissing right on me. Love the smell of werewolf piss on me as I am planning to take a vacation. Don't know why, but I am going to bring him with us. You better not piss on the carpets. Now, the reason we're going to Granite Falls is I do kind of want to work on our herbalism skill just a little bit. So we're going to spend maybe like 4 days here. We're going to try and find some ingredients, which is going to be a little bit difficult. I should have probably not put seasons into this, but can mess with the plants and therefore the ingredients that we need. And some people say that it also affects like the insects that you can find. I think I found out that that was BS. I think the time of day is the only thing that actually affects the creatures that comes out, which the insects also count towards ingredients. I hate that you can't just like, especially get a reward. You know what? That's something that they're missing. That's something that they have not bothered to put in 11 years down the line and would have been perfect for Enchanted by Nature, is like a reward store item, the same as the one that we could get in The Sims 3, where you could just like show all collectibles on your map, or maybe even just like click on the ground and just like go and find all collectibles. I think that that should be a reward because I am sick of straining my eyes. I removed seasons. I said absolutely screw seasons. It is screwing me up too much. I couldn't even get basil, bro. So now I should be able to harvest everything that is around. We should probably check what we need to even start our herbalism. Great, there's not even a stove here. Why would there not be a stove? They're like, we want you to enjoy the great outdoors. Kind of like the new pack. Do not come to my town if you don't care to live off the land. We have the insect repellent and sadness alleviation lotion. Elderberry and firefly. Cool. Don't think we have any of those. Now, we finally harvested some unidentified fruit. We are going to attempt to identify. Acquired the herbalism skill. No idea what plant this is. Building herbalism skill will help to identify. Maybe we should go and purchase a herbalism skill book. Herbalism 1, let's get brewing. Yes, please. I think Amber's witchiness is having an effect on my office right now. It keeps making my camera go on and off, which is a little bit scary, but we did get to herbalism level 4, so we can actually start to identify. We've already identified the noxious elderberries and the regular elderberries along with the toxic chamomile. We still have an unidentified flower, so let's attempt to identify that. Don't ask me why it disappeared. Also, collect those fire ants for me. I'm quite impressed that we've managed to do all of this without even going into like the deep woods. The insects are respawning, so let's grab the last couple of those, and then because our herbalism is like a level 4, we can start concocting some herbal remedies, which I did find out, well, I reminded myself that we can actually do this on the stoves, so we could technically live off the land here. Obviously it's very easy to do in Granite Falls, considering there are so many girls about. But we can make the deodorizing cream, the insect repellent, and sadness alleviation. Let's go for the insect repellent. And then we also have the option for de-stressing deconcoction and soothing skin balm. Now, the main difference I feel obviously between these and I imagine the apothecary is the fact that these are going to stick to outdoor retreat. I think these obviously are very much affected. I think these can also maybe help in the jungle. I can't remember if the soothing skin balm can like help with some of the like illnesses or like itches that you can get in the jungle. Obviously they are quite helpful to have in the jungle, especially like the deodorizing cream, because if you are feeling stinky, you can just use that and it will get your hygiene up. I don't again know if the insect repellent actually does anything. We've already seen the apothecary table as well, so we already know that that is pretty much going to be used instead of like making the new ones actually on the grill. So again, it's that thing of, well, it is technically a similar system, but obviously the apothecary stuff and the cures that you can make in the new pack are likely to obviously be to cure the ailments, whereas these ones are pretty much to help you actually explore the forest and kind of like help your hygiene and stuff of that nature. Let's go get those toxic chamomiles and let's actually head deeper into the woods. I always get this wrong. We're gonna ignore the shiny object and then travel towards the sim. Oh my god, that is the first time I've done that first try in a hot minute. I feel like that and Forgotten Grotto, I obviously do the Sylvan Glade one loads because it's so easy to enter, so I know it really, really well, but that one I usually mess up like at least 2 times before I can get myself into the deep woods. Again, we got another type of mushroom in outdoor retreat. I don't know if we're gonna be able to identify these. Oh no, our herbalism skill has reached the tippity top of what we can actually identify. These are the morel mushrooms living off the land again. We can actually roast some of our beetles that we have collected. You could also roast the fish that we have in my inventory. That would also be free, and I actually think all the things that you can make on here are free. The marshmallows, the hot dogs, the fish, and obviously the beetles. There isn't a place to pee though, because these technically don't have piss bushes around. We do have one available to us in Werewolves, but there isn't one in this forest. But I guess technically we could just go and use their toilet, and then we can just snooze the night away. We can queue up some napping over on these logs, although this looks like the most uncomfortable sleep that you could possibly have. Oh, just imagine the crease in your foot you would wake up with. Oh, it's painful even just looking at it, especially in a bra. Kel, think of the splinters. Oh, sorry, what was that? You can hear your stomach rumbling. Well, guess what? We have the traditional mushrooms that we've already had in the game. Let's chow down on like 3 of those, see how much it gets up. Okay, so it doesn't really get up her hunger all that much. Again, I feel like with being able to eat raw frogs and raw fish, it is potentially gonna help your needs like a little bit more. You probably need like 5-6 mushrooms and like other harvestables to fill up your hunger from about halfway. I'm fairly sure our hygiene hasn't gone down that much. Let's just pretend that it has. Let's pretend we've been stinking and use that deodorizing cream. We're gonna apply that to ourselves. Oh, the way that they just like smother it on themselves, and boom, our hygiene went up fully. We've still got the insect repellent, which I'm fairly sure there's just like, I don't even know, bug free. The insect repellent will keep those pests away. I guess that's good for sims who actually like hate the bugs. I can't remember. I think it's squeamish, because I feel like that only really affects moodlets, which is a whole other problem that I have with The Sims 4, let's be real, is the fact that moodlets don't really feel like gameplay at this point. Just to show you what Herbalism can do to the top level, we are now level 10. We can brew elixir of fertility recipes, clear mind distillation, energizer infusion, so I'm fairly sure that would help with your energy need, and then elixir of fertility, probably if you get pregnant during that, then there's an increased chance of twins or triplets. Fire leaf extract, natural herbicide oil, rage relieving salve, which I'm fairly sure if you're angry that can take it down, which is helpful, I feel, maybe for werewolves. And then the tummy therapy if you are feeling sick. I assume if you have that, then it will calm down your tummy. It is really having an effect on not honestly just things that come with outdoor retreat. If we actually get his cooking up to a level 7, Lou does in fact have frogs in his inventory. There we go. The boiling frog hot pot unlocks at level 7 of the cooking skill. A slow boil seals the fate of succulent wild caught frogs. A fiery frog blood broth infused with green peppercorn, ginger and chili fills a sim with amphibian zeal. You get the very energized moodlet, amphibian agility. Catching and eating the slipperiest of frogs has given Amber enhanced reflexes and senses. With an extra leap in her step, catching frogs, swimming, fishing, and other physical pursuits should be easier. And she decided that she liked fitness in that moment. She said frogs are delicious. I mean, she is a witch. It does add up. So there we have it. I mean, I just kind of wanted to make this video, one for myself, because I haven't really played with Herbalism in a hot minute, like actually done a deep dive, like focusing on it. But I do always feel like it is fun for witches, especially now that you can sell those if you have businesses and hobbies. When businesses and hobbies came out, I asked you lot what kind of businesses would you want to run, and I full on made an apothecary shop with obviously the potions that you can create in Realm of Magic and the balms that you can create using outdoor retreat. So I know that like not everyone has every single pack, and I don't want to take away from those players who have one of these things but maybe weren't interested by the rest of like outdoor retreat or anything. But at this point in time, I feel like The Sims 4 in this lifespan could have so many more packs about themes that they have yet to explore, worlds and like ecosystems that they have yet to explore, and it just feels like this is a little bit too close to what we do already have, because we could have had outdoor retreat for like the past 10 years if you wanted it. Like, I know packs are a pick and mix. It's really hard to explain where I'm coming from, because I know that I'm gonna get people being like, well, it's a different system. Like, obviously those like apothecary things that you can make are gonna tie to the ailments, but the thing is, we kind of already have that in this, even though it's like under the guise of something else and like has a different name. It just feels like the theming is a bit too close to what we've already had for years. And maybe it's just because I know I would prefer fairies if they were coming in like a dedicated game pack, because I've preferred all of the occults that have come in game packs over the expansion pack ones. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think it is a little bit too similar to what we already have? Are you kind of happy with what you've seen so far? Obviously, we still don't know everything about this new pack. We have yet to see the gameplay trailer. That's actually dropping tomorrow. Fairly sure I'm gonna have my reaction uploaded on Friday, depending on like when I can get it edited. Now that I've kind of gone over these like old packs, maybe ones that you haven't had, maybe you didn't know that these things were available already in The Sims 4, I would love to hear your opinions. Do you think I am just being a cranky old lady? I appreciate you all so much, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.